Hey guys, it's LOL_Redbun here. I wanted to cover something that I discovered last night while trying to get my gardening to 100. So in my world, I have these massive farms for the heartberries and the spicy peppers, or I think they're called bomb peppers, as well as the Karoks. And I'm working on one. Of course, these aren't filled out, and I built one as well recently for the glowing flowers. But these have filled out really nicely. The heartberries and the bomb peppers. My problem is though, it takes a lot of time to harvest these, plant them, and then come back around and you know do it all over again. So last night I was experimenting with hitting them with different tools and other things, and I don't know if this is the most efficient way out there, but for me it works really, really well. And that is using the watering can as the tool to hit the plants with. Because there is I don't know if it's a bug or not, but essentially you can hit the plant, and while you're hitting it, water the space it's in. So this essentially halves the time effectively, if you do it perfectly, to taking care of all your plants, because you're essentially doing two steps at the same time, and then you're cutting out a ton of time by doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm waiting for these bomb peppers to grow. But for now, I'm going to go through and clear all these plants and water them at the same time, and then get around to doing this farm the traditional way, where I'll hit it with the watering can, so it's the same tool. Then I'll come back and water everything, and then I'll plant all the seeds, and we'll see the time difference. So I'm just me recording the whole thing, and you'll be able to see the difference in efficiency. Now, as you might have seen, there's a few conditions for this to work properly, as it did mess up several times there. And the conditions are essentially, you have to be in the hitting an object animation. So like if I were to hit this, I could water at the same time as hitting it, and it'd essentially have no animation or movement speed stopping effect for the watering can watering. It doesn't take an extra step. So what ends up happening is sometimes you'll have little breaks where you'll start watering instead of hitting. And when that happens, you'll be, costing yourself time because you're not hitting the plants, so you're just watering. So essentially you're getting the same time as before. So what you actually have to do is, when you're doing this, you have to start with a left click, and immediately after, you're going to want to left click and hold, and immediately after right click and hold at the same time. And you want to start walking as you're doing it. And I find it works best for me when I have my cursor at the bottom of the little selection square for watering, and then up a little bit. So I'll walk towards this, and there it goes. So I'm watering while hitting. The other thing to note about this is if you have any movement speed buffs, like if I pop a spicy pepper or two, I'll have issues here because I'm just moving too fast, and then I usually end up just watering. So it's best to not have a movement speed buff going on or you ultimately end up at a spot where it's just hard to do it. So you want to have normal base movement speed. Now, I do have 74 points in running, which gives me 7.4%. But other than that, I would try to avoid it. Also, yes, I do know I got a point in gardening, and I could have put into Expert Gardener for the golden plants while I was doing that. But for the time's sake, I figured I would just go ahead and do it. All right, so now that this one has fully grown, we'll do this one. I believe I started... Is it down here or up here? I think it was down here. So we'll start down here as well. And we'll do the same exact pattern and everything. So anyways, let's start that one. As you can see, it was definitely a little bit faster doing the water wall wall destroying the crops method. Now, of course, this is a one experiment versus another experiment test rather than a series of experiments. So there's going to be stuff like little variations in the amount of mess ups that happen. Or, for example, my pathing was a little bit different there because I wanted to start watering immediately because I felt like it wasn't fair to not start watering immediately. So I started here, which ended up making me path around a little weird. And then towards the end, I had to go one way and then the other way. The alternative would have been to walk over here and start watering, and it would have been the same amount of time realistically, because I would have still had to walk from over there to here in terms of reverse distance, because I'd walk from here to over there and then start watering. Either way, the pathing was a little bit different on this one. I feel like I did a little bit less of a good job on this one as well, but I feel like the time difference is pretty clear. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to cover up this, or not cover up, but cover this trick I learned while gardening last night, and I thought you guys may find it helpful. So here it is. Hope you guys enjoyed, and let me know if this works for you and how much you enjoy it. All right, bye guys. Thanks for watching.